Hey everybody. So I've been working on a new feature for Below the Stone recently, and this is one of those features where I feel like it's important to get your feedback on this type of thing. So through this video, I'm going to be explaining what's going on here. But what I want to say right off the bat is, if there's any suggestions or any opinions or thoughts that any of you have to say about what you're about to see, don't be afraid to say something in general chat on our Discord, or even I would prefer you just put it in the comment section of this video, because it just makes it easier to find those things because it's all related to the video. Um, but yeah, I definitely want to hear your feedback, right? If I don't get any feedback, I'm going to be a lot more disappointed because I want to make sure this is something that everyone likes. This is something that is balanced. It's not going to make the overall feel of the game worse. But this is ultimately something that I think some people are going to like for various reasons, right? And the reason why they might like it is because there's this expectation that you're going into this dark cave, and so that light is going to play an important role in the game itself. I mean, you can see. I'm not going to point at it. I'm pointing at it with my fingers here, but you can see there's various green plants, the glow weeds, that emit their own light, and that's not just for looks. That's also because it means that if a creature walks into that light area, you're going to see it. Right now, there's a lot of things around the player that you currently cannot see at the moment. And in fact, one thing I should say is that in this video, you might have noticed that the light ring around the player, the default light ring, as I'm just going to call it for this video, it's a little bit smaller, actually. I did tweak it a little bit, tweak the brightness and the range of it so that it's trying to, like, there's less visibility, right? The circle is a little bit smaller, okay? At some point, I made it even smaller, and then it just became too restrictive. So again, that comes down to what you guys have to say about it. Um, I want to involve everyone in this so that I'm not just making this feature, putting it out there in an actual update of the game, and then people, it just makes the game worse all around, and it's just something that we either have to revert or do something, right? I'd rather us kind of I'd rather involve the community in figuring out the best course of action with this idea. But I think this is, if this is something that can work, uh, I very much like it to work because I think a lot of people would like this. But anyway, without further ado, let me actually show you what I'm talking about. Some of you have probably heard what exactly it is, so let me show you. So here it is. So it's basically like a flashlight, and as you can see, as you point the flashlight further away from the where the light source is coming from, you kind of assume it's like a headlamp or something like that on the player. And as you look further out, it gets bigger, right? But also at the same time, it gets dimmer as well. So it functions like a flashlight. You can still see stuff, right? But it's very, very dim. It's not a very clear image of what you're seeing. So that's more or less what I'm trying to go for with, obviously, with this. Um, I've done a lot of tweaking to it, trying to get it right. Because when I was first writing the code for this and tweaking the values of how big the thing gets or whatever, I found myself being not super satisfied with like different things. Like it just didn't feel quite right. I don't want it to be something that it makes things more difficult, but at the same time, it feels like this is something that uh, people would like as long as it's done properly. But yeah, you can also see that it doesn't go through walls because if it did, then obviously you could see things through walls like this, um, which probably wouldn't, that would be a little bit too powerful. Uh, and obviously, like, there's a lot of different things right now in the game where they're not really in the place that they should be. Things are kind of balanced in the wrong ways, and so what that means is like, it might be okay if the light could go through the wall, but in the future as things change, it would become like it would become broken at some point as we change things, right? So I'd rather things be in the intended place now rather than later down the line. Um, I also made some changes along with the player's default light ring. I also made it so that the glow weeds are a little bit uh, nerfed as well to kind of go along with it. But of course, those things I might tweak if this doesn't look quite right to you. Um, but yeah, so with that being said, I just wanted to kind of play through the game. That's really what I wanted to do here, along with showing you this whole idea. Actually play through the game, have you guys watch, and kind of get a sense of like, does it feel good? Does anything need to be changed? Right? is there anything else that's needed to kind of make it a better feature? But yeah, so I'll just play through the game right now. Do a little less commentary, but yeah. Hopefully we'll find a dungeon or something. I do hear some kobolds, so I might as well go for them. Yep. Oh, there's a dungeon. How about that? Perfect. Perfect. All right. There we go. Is there a... Oh, there's chests. I keep freaking out each time I see the... I keep forgetting this guy doesn't attack you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. We're not doing too good on health. There we go. I wish I had arrows. I don't really need the light as much in this dungeon because there's plenty of light sources. I'm trying to get as much food as possible. Alright, I'll just have to... Or, you know, wait. I'm gonna... secret passageway. Oh, ranged skeleton. Come here. I wish I had torches. Uh-oh. Out of the way. Not good, not good, not good. Uh-oh. Not good. Oh. Yeah. Maybe I should give myself copper. No. I'll respawn one more time and do that one more time, and that'll be it, I think. I don't want the video to be too long. Okay, so take two. Take two. We're doing this again. If I die again, it is what it is. I mean, I'm just testing this in Unity, so it's not like... I'm just trying to... I'd like to get through a dungeon, right? So far, I've been kind of struggling, and I don't think it's because of the light source. Obviously, as you saw there, it's just... That's kind of the state of the game right now. Things are getting a little bit harder, as they should be. You know, like, we want to make sure that the game, you know, even in the beginning is not easy, but obviously we don't want to turn off people to having super extreme difficulty. So, you know, it depends on, you know, what we tweak, things like that. Like, sometimes it feels like the slimes hit you in places that they shouldn't. Like, they're kind of hitting you a little too early, and that could come down to other types of tweaks that we should be doing. But yeah. Also, I find that using torches on slimes is pretty good because it allows you to keep your distance. It allows you to kind of be less risky. But that could, again, that could be just down to the fact that, like, they're hitting you, but, like, they're hitting you from further than they really should be. You know? That could be what it is. And that could just be better in general. But yeah, let's find a dungeon. Oh, there's a dungeon, I think. Hopefully it's something I can deal with. I feel like I should give myself, like, this is one of the things that I did is that, like, with, when it comes to, the spiders? No. I forget what I was gonna say. Let me let the spider damage me and see what happens. Okay, I think that's appropriate. Alright. To be honest with you, I forgot what I was just about to say. It was something with balancing. I have no idea. What do we got here? What kind of dungeon is this? Oh, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, the swords and the axes, they now have reaches. Like they reach... Or not reaches, but sweeps, or whatever I'm calling it. Uh-oh. But, yeah, so the swords now, or at least the tin and the copper, I think the rest of the weapons have to be balanced, but, like, when you swing your sword, the thing that determines whether you hit something, like an enemy, is a rectangle, essentially, that points in the direction of where you're aiming. It's not aligned with this, what you see here. This line is just to kind of get a sense of the general direction and the reach of the weapon. But, so it's I think a little bit thicker than this line technically, but like an axe has a much thicker line, so it allows you to hit more in one shot, and so it's based off of that whole idea. This is a dungeon with skeletons, so I might as well light it up. I know that kind of defeats the purpose of the whole thing, but this is what you'd normally be doing, right? The light source is what you'd use, you know, when you're walking around in the caves. Like, you don't have to constantly place torches everywhere, and then that torch becomes useless because you're traveling, right? So there's no point to placing it because you're gonna, you know, you're gonna be leaving that area anyway. So, I'm kind of disappointed I didn't get any arrows from that guy. I want to see if I can get a different... No, I don't think there's another entrance. This is going to be tricky because really, in reality, you wouldn't be taking these skeletons on like this. If anything, I should just be using the torch. Like, it's actually... Like, you really shouldn't be taking on skeleton dungeons with tin. Like, that's not enough. But now now that we changed it so that the skeletons flash, we can now actually deal with them properly like that. So that was good. It would be also nice... We should have had this by now, but like we wanted to have throwable flares, and that would be really good in this kind of scenario, to have flares that you can throw and light up areas. That'd be very useful, especially here. Like that would just make so much sense. I think that's the tactic. Oh, apple. I really want to get through this. That'd be really cool if I can get through this, but I don't think. I'm gonna. I just need some arrows. Like, I really need some arrows. Oh my god. That was dumb, that was dumb, that was dumb. Okay, yeah, see, you really need, like, a better armor to take on this area, and I'm just like, oh, let me try 10, yeah, it's gonna work. Yeah, no, it doesn't. So, maybe I'll just respawn one more time, but then I'm not gonna, like, set up my armor again. In all fairness, I'm trying to take on a dungeon that I'm not supposed to be taking on with tin. Like, I would have to give myself, like, copper armor, and that's what, like, you know, that would be, like, the more suited, you know, have a copper sword, things like that. That would be, like, the proper, you know, what you would do, right? This is just, if you're wondering why I have a platinum sword, that's just what you start off as. You know, when we're in Unity, when we're testing, we just give ourselves a platinum sword automatically. So yeah, and you can see, I think now, just from kind of playing the game with this light source the way it is, it's not bad, right? The big thing too with the light source is that, the controllable light source is that you now rely a lot more on sound, and not all creatures have sounds. Skeletons don't have sounds, other than when they shoot their bow and they flash, which isn't a sound, but so that would be something that I think we'd eventually want to give more creatures sounds, especially ones that are dangerous and hostile. Like, they need to have sounds, so that can be another component to sensing the area you're in, and knowing, like, oh, there's creatures nearby and stuff like that. So yeah, but you can kind of see here that, like, generally speaking, the light source is, you know, you can point it, right? But then wherever you point it, you have to, that's where you're essentially looking in that case. I'm going to actually pause the video here quick. I want to actually move myself to a different area where there's more monsters, potentially. Here we are. So actually I just found a mini dungeon nearby. But yeah, this is what the swamp biome looks like with this light. Quite interesting, I'd say. Yeah, here it is. Oh god. I'm so bad. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to end it there. Because I think you've seen kind of just generally, like, what things are like. I'm just getting myself into really bad situations. I suck at this game. I think that's the consensus here, is I'm just really bad. I mean, I didn't have armor, but I had a platinum sword. So That says something about the state of the game. Maybe that's a good thing. It's good that even the developer can't be good, right? It says something. But anyway, like I said at the beginning, I want to hear what you guys think. Leave comments in the video comment section, or if you want, just say something in general chat on Discord. Because again, I want to make sure if this is something where like it's not a guarantee that this is going to be in the game. This is more like I want to experiment around, see what it actually looks like, because previously it was just an idea in my head, and I wanted to take this into something real to kind of actually make it and see what it actually looks like in game, and if there's any oddities or anything that doesn't feel quite right. And if we can kind of fix those things and make it something that people can enjoy as a feature in the game, then we can definitely do that. Originally, like I said, this was meant to be something where it was like certain wearable items give you the light source. They allow you to like normally you wouldn't have this. But of course, if you didn't have it, that would be kind of not great. So maybe it's something the player would always have. I don't know. These are the types of questions I'd like to hear what you would I want to hear what you guys have to say about that kind of stuff. Like anything you can imagine, right? Put yourself into my position and think, what what would be a sensible way to implement this feature, because we definitely do want to have the game be more difficult in regards to just the overall lighting in the game. We want the game to feel like it's dark and that light is an important component to the game itself. So, yeah. One last thing I will say actually is like, I don't think I said this yet, but like one thing we might do potentially, if this makes it more fair, is on the first layer, the default light ring that goes around the player, that's always there. Maybe that light ring will be bigger so that you see more. But then as you go deeper, layer 2, so on and so forth, it'll get smaller. And so it means that light becomes more and more of a necessity, or more of something that it's more important to you, being able to light things up and stuff like that. So, just something, it's not a definite thing. I'm just saying like that could be something that we end up doing. That could be how it works. But not a guarantee. Again, like I said, I want to hear what you guys think. It would feel like a waste of time if nobody responded to this video. So I'd like to hear the perspectives of as many people as possible. So yeah, with that being said, I think I'll just close off the video before it gets any longer. So thank you all for watching and taking your time out of your day to kind of see what this is all about. So thank you, and I'll see you guys later.